Hello and welcome, my love. My name is Abelina. I'm a Dark Feminine Embodiment Guide and Yoga teacher. My hope for this channel is to offer you some deep wisdom and insights into how you can start to embody the Dark Feminine energy more and more into your life so that you can feel more confident in being your authentic self, to get better at setting boundaries, to live from a place of self-love and self-respect, but also to hold yourself during difficult times. We know that life comes with challenges, and the Dark Feminine really has this energy of being able to hold us through the unknown, through the darkness, with love and compassion, which helps us remember our inner strength and our power. For today's video, I wanted to chat about what Dark Feminine energy is not, and how we can actually understand what Dark Feminine energy really means on an embodied level, and how we can start to bring that more into our everyday life. So the reason I wanted to talk about what Dark Feminine energy isn't is because there's a lot more information out there nowadays about Dark Feminine energy. We might see, women dressing up in black, coming across as very mysterious or having this kind of bossy nature to them. And while there's nothing wrong with that, I want to talk to you more about not so much what we see on the external in terms of embodying the Dark Feminine, but what it is that you're doing every day to show up for yourself, because that's really been my journey of embodying and remembering the Dark Feminine energy within me. That it's more about what we do day to day in the relationship with ourselves rather than what other people might see on the external. So what are some of the things that I've noticed around Dark Feminine energy, what's out there? Well, first of all, I guess there's an idea that when you're in your Dark Feminine energy, you need to wear black. And while I love wearing black, and that's always been my color of comfort, it's not necessarily about wearing black that's gonna make us step into our Dark Feminine energy. On days where I don't wear black, I can still be in my Dark Feminine energy. Of course, as long as you're wearing something and presenting yourself in a way that feels authentic to you, that makes you feel confident and sensual, then yes, that is the Dark Feminine. But if there's an idea that in order for me to be in my Dark Feminine, I have to dress a certain way, then I encourage you to maybe reflect on that and go back to what it is that actually feels authentic for you. The other thing that I commonly see is that there's this idea that to be in our Dark Feminine, it's a lot about how we speak. And yes, of course, the Dark Feminine, more mysterious and perhaps slow in the way she speaks because she's quite grounded in herself. It doesn't mean that as soon as we start to say less or come across as more mysterious and don't show or say much in a crowded room of people, that we are all of a sudden embodying our Dark Feminine energy. I would be more curious to know if you would actually be embodying this sense of slowing down, being grounded and connected with yourself in your own time when you're not around people. Another thing that I commonly see around how the Dark Feminine energy is presented is that perhaps she can be quite manipulative or has this boss energy. And again, yes, when we think about boss energy, it's kind of like this inner confidence that people can feel, and that is the Dark Feminine. Manipulation is not needed because the Dark Feminine feels secure enough in herself that she doesn't need to manipulate. She doesn't need to pretend to not be interested in someone in order for someone to chase them. She is so secure in herself that she just surrenders. She doesn't chase, but again, it's not coming from a manipulative place. When we think about an energy where we manipulate, to me, that's not so much the Dark Feminine. It's more coming likely from a wounded feminine place. So a place where we might feel the need to control or manipulate a situation in order to get what we want, because it's coming from a place of insecurity and a lack of self-love. And so again, this is just an invitation to notice what kind of information we might see around dark feminine energy. And again, while there is nothing wrong with that, because if it's helping you feel confident and feel empowered and authentic in yourself, then it's not something to stop doing. My hope more for this video is to actually feel into the ways that we can embody the dark feminine without thinking about the external and what other people might want to see. So now that we've explored a bit more what dark feminine necessarily isn't, let's talk about what dark feminine energy really means from an embodied perspective. First of all, she is embodied. She's connected with her body, with her senses. She uses her body as a vehicle to really tap into her intuition, into her sense of being and feeling, as feminine energy does in general. The dark feminine also has this beautiful power of holding us in the unknown, in the darkness, when we go through challenging times in our life where things feel like they're just crumbling apart and we don't know where to go and we feel completely lost. The dark feminine is the energy that helps us surrender into that, to help us be with whatever is from a loving and compassionate place. The dark feminine isn't mean or evil. She's actually incredibly loving and holds us in these times of uncertainty. Through stillness, she invites us to go inward, to be curious about what it is that needs to come up, what it is that needs attending to, or what is it that needs to be let go of. And another thing that the dark feminine really holds and embodies is this true sense of authentic power. She feels confident enough in herself to be authentic, to express her truth. And she also holds this empowering, fierce stance where she is able to embrace all of her emotions, even her anger, even her rage. The dark feminine helps us move through those feelings, move through those emotions, so that we can come out on the other side. So really, she is the opposite of avoidance, we might say. She helps us go deep within, to be with ourselves, to hold us, whether it is in times of stillness and being in the void, or whether it's in times of needing to release emotions and move through them, to feel them. Here are the 5 ways that you can start to really embody the dark feminine energy within you, not from an external perspective, but really more about how you feel in your day-to-day life. So the number 1 thing is to connect with your body, connect with your senses. Feminine energy in general is all about connecting with our body, to feel embodied, to feel into our sensations, to be one with Mother Nature. And so the easiest way that we can do that is to move our body in an intuitive way. Of course, when we exercise, we're moving our body, but it tends to feel more structured, and we might still find ourselves in our head a lot. And so I encourage you to practice intuitive dance, to put on a playlist that makes you feel sensual, empowered, grounded, and to move your body in whichever way it calls you to. Let your body move you, not your mind. Another way, if yoga is in your practice, is to just create your own flow and see what comes up. See how your body wants to move. For a very long time, I will admit, I was relying too much on guided yoga practices where I would have someone else guide me. And while of course that felt beautiful, it wasn't until I actually allowed myself to trust in my own practice by putting on my own playlist and moving my body and creating a yoga sequence in the moment that I really started to feel into my body and feel myself embodying the dark feminine energy, because it came with no expectation or no intended outcome. It was about the journey and how I was feeling connected to my body, to my breath in the moment. So connect with your body, your sensations through intuitive, sensual movement, dance, or even your own yoga practice. The second way that you can really start to embody the dark feminine, like I mentioned before, is to hold yourself in times of uncertainty. Now, of course, that can be easier said than done, because as a human being, uncertainty can feel really scary. And sometimes we like to be in control of things. But the dark feminine really allows us to embrace when things feel uncertain, when we don't know where we're going, we don't know who we're going to be. And so an invitation to practice this is through meditation, maybe laying down, putting on an eye mask, and just allowing yourself to be in that darkness, in the unknown, to breathe through it. Maybe put on some music that feels calming and helps you go deeper, and just see what comes up. And sometimes it might be that not much happens, but you've just allowed yourself space to be in the stillness, to be in that void, and to accept what is without trying to change it. And so again, this is the beauty of the dark feminine, is that she holds us in that stillness, in the darkness, in the void, and helps us notice and build a connection with any of our shadows, our hidden parts that may need attending to. Number 3, embrace your emotions, which goes very much hand in hand to the second point. So the dark feminine, again, she feels all of her emotions, not just the good ones or comfortable ones. If there is grief that needs attending to, if there is shame, fear, anger, rage, whatever it might be, she allows herself to feel it with compassion, to feel it in an authentic way, to move through it so that she can learn through that experience and come out on the other side. So one way that we can do that, firstly, is again to connect with our body, to notice our sensations. Emotions are sensations in the body, whether it's through a tensing, whether it's through a shaking sensation, whether it's through our heart rate increasing when we feel scared or anxious. Whatever it may look like, becoming aware of the sensations in your body is a way to start attuning to your emotions and what may need to come up. And then once you have noticed what may be there, can you start moving your body? Can you shake? Can you make sounds? Can you dance? Whatever it is that you might need in that moment. Number 4, practice setting boundaries. So this is something that the dark feminine energy really embodies, is a sense of self-respect and self-love. She is able to say no when she means no. Tuning into your body, noticing how that feels when someone asks you to do something can be a really great way to connect with your intuition at that time. And number 5 is really about embodying a sense of self-love. And one way that we might be able to do that is to create a daily self-care ritual that really brings you into the relationship with yourself. One of the things that I love to do on a daily basis, sometimes both in the mornings and in the evenings, is my ritual of connecting with prayer, using oracle cards, and meditating to really help me connect with spirit, but more importantly, connect with my inner intuition, connect with my body, my dark feminine energy within, and what it is that I may need for the rest of the day. Another thing you could do is just to create a beautiful evening self-care ritual routine that feels incredibly nourishing for your body. Some of the things I enjoy is an oil massage, a gua sha massage, just to really help ground myself, unwind from the day, and again, connect with my body, connect with how I'm feeling. So I hope this video has given you some insights and inspiration into how you can actually start to embody the dark feminine energy and feel into that energy so that you can live in a way that feels more aligned with a sense of self-confidence, self-love, feeling more connected with your body, your sensuality, and also not being afraid to hold yourself in challenging times or when emotions need to come up. I wish you a wonderful rest of the day. Namaste.